What's up, everybody? Coming at you with a video here. It's a bit of a delayed response, but it's for AceXDeuce90's um, response for he had posted a video asking three questions. What's your best pool that you've pulled and what you've done with it? If you could fight anybody in a fight in a steel cage match, who would it be? And who would be your Mount Rushmore of athletes? So I know it's been a while since you posted that video, Tom, but I did want to go ahead and get a response to just not so much for the contest, but just because I've been seeing everybody else's responses, and so just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents out there. Um, for the best pool, I've actually shown this card before for a best pool. I'm not too sure. I don't quite remember whose it was for before, as far as what video response it was on. But I pulled this back in. Let's see, it was in 2001 out of SP Game Floor Edition. Um, and the reason it's my favorite, not so much the most expensive card that I've pulled. I don't think it is. Of course, it's decreased in value since it came out, but since it was PC, it's been my favorite pool. Jordan Bird Game Floor, and that is, yeah, I didn't think it was numbered, not numbered. Yeah, so this was really cool. Like I had mentioned in a video before, I was with some friends and two of my cousins' husbands. All three of us used to make like a monthly trip to the LCS, and we'd all pick stuff up and open it up while we were there and trade and just kind of had our own thing going there. This was way before any kind of YouTube community or anything like that. Really, the only people you could trade with or interact with people at the LCS or people you knew. So we would all pick up packs and stuff, and none of us really bought basketball, but I've always, really loved Jordan, and so I'll try to pick up whatever I could when I could. And the shop owner had mentioned that there was Jordan floor pieces coming out, and there was even floor pieces that were autoed coming out of the boxes that were rare. But I thought I'd take a shot, and I got lucky, and I actually hit that. So that's, to this day, I think that's still one of the best pulls that I've pulled that I actually still have, and I don't think I'll ever let go of. And like I said, that's because it's decreased in value quite a bit, but it's all good, man. It's for the PC. So yeah, that's the best pool I've had. As far as who I would fight in a steel cage match, this is gonna sound crazy, but at this point, I think I'd have to go with Floyd Mayweather. I'm just so fed up with the whole thing, and I feel like he's been really bad for boxing. And honestly, I would just really want to beat my pay-per-view money out of him. Um, Originally it started back with when he fought De La Hoya. I just wanted De La Hoya to beat him. I've always liked De La Hoya. Uh, Even now, after knowing all the crazy stuff he's kind of gone through and he's done and what he went through, but I've managed to. Floyd Mayweather's just continued to get my money because I keep buying his fights, hoping that somebody will actually beat him. And then if this Pacquiao deal goes down, as much as I hate to say it, I'll probably be buying that fight just in the hopes that Pacquiao will finally beat him. If Pacquiao loses, I'll definitely be done with boxing. I keep saying that just because I get so frustrated with it. And I know a lot of people have got tired of it, and that's why they've gone to UFC. And people are like, "Nah, boxing's a joke." But I don't know. It's just such a classic sport, and there's so much history there. I've never really been able to kind of get away from it. And one of my favorite fighters right now, total side note, but Canelo Alvarez, young kid fighting out of Mexico. Yeah, I've been watching him since he was, really young, and now he's actually become the youngest champion of all time. And I think he's got I think he's got a long way to go. I think he's going to be a really good fighter, and I think he's going to go a long way, and he's going to end up being one of the greats. I'm hoping. So, but anyway, I would definitely want to beat my pay-per-view money out of Floyd Mayweather in a cage match if I could. As far as the last question, the Mount Rushmore of sports, man, that was really, it was really crazy, and to see everybody's responses, pretty much every four people that everybody was putting up there, I could totally agree with. And so it's really hard, especially when you start thinking about the players that you collect and the people you PC. And it sounds crazy, but I can't, like, I'm Longhorns for me are like, what it's all about. So of course, in a dream world it'd be like, Vince Young, Colt McCoy, Ricky Williams, and like Earl Campbell. But in all reality, though, I couldn't put those four guys on a Mount Rushmore. Everybody would move out of the state if I did something like that. But I think four guys that are definitely deserving. One, I'm gonna have to go with Dan Saluka, Muhammad Ali. I think he's just a timeless, classic sports figure, and he was here way before I was into any kind of sports or anything, and he's still around. And I think he will always be around, kind of like Babe Ruth. So I think Ali would definitely be first one up. Another one, of course, same thing, Jordan. Some people have an issue with his attitude, but I'll tell you, I actually just watched his Hall of Fame induction speech last night again because there's been so much controversy over the speech and whether he was an ass about it. But when you really watch it and you pay attention to what he said and the fact that he did call out a few people, but he was explaining that those are what fueled his passion for the game and for the sport and what motivated him. So I don't fault him for that, and I think he'll always be the greatest basketball player of all time. I mean, not to knock any of the others down because there's definitely been a lot of great basketball players, but I grew up watching MJ play, and he was just one of those guys that was just an icon for sports. Period. No matter what. So I would have to put him up there. Um, this next guy, Peyton Manning, um, hands down. I mean, I know he's not retired, and there's like the whole thing floating around right now whether or not he'll return to the Colts or he's going to go somewhere else or what's going to happen. I would like for him to return to the Colts, but I would like for him to return to the Colts healthy and continue playing the way he's played, all his career. Um, and if not, in all honesty, as crazy as it sounds, and I don't know, some of you might disagree, but if he is not 100% healthy or he can't come back to the Colts, I would almost rather see him retire than go somewhere else. Brett Favre, I think, is one of the greatest quarterbacks as well. I know he's got a lot of bad records, but he was a great quarterback for a long time, and he's definitely the Iron Man of football. And Peyton Manning was the second closest. And the really cool thing is his younger brother Eli, I think, is the one still left in the running in the lead for the Iron Man. I don't think he'll get anywhere near Brett Favre. He may pass Peyton, but I don't think anybody's going to touch Brett Favre's Iron Man record. Um, I just would rather see him retire than end up like Brett Favre and end up going to another team and another team. And yes, Brett Favre did take Minnesota to the playoffs, and still had that fight in the drive. And it's just you don't want to see him go through that. It's kind of like Joe Montana with the Chiefs. He also took them on a playoff run at the end there, but it's just not what you want to remember. And Ryan Dominus, I'm hoping you'll agree with me here, but I think it would just be better to remember him what he's done up to this point, which is he's to me he's definitely cemented the best quarterback of all time. Um, Not necessarily the best clutch, best you know fourth quarter quarterback, best you know passing efficiency, just all around greatest quarterback. The guy's been so consistent, and to show how much of an impact he has on a team that didn't play with him this year and just couldn't get anything going regardless of all the other talent that was still available. I think just goes to show how much of an impact he makes on that team. So yeah, again, Manning, and then of course the last one, which I mentioned up there with Ali, it would have to be Babe Ruth. Just icon of the game. You think baseball, you think Babe Ruth. There's a lot of others up there. I'm a big Yankees fan. There's a lot of history there, but Babe Ruth is just, he's just one of those guys that he's never going to fade away, and he's been here way before. It was really hard going through this question and actually thinking of players that are current or have just left the game because of the players that have been there before and have done so much for the game, and for sports. So this was really awesome, man. It was just a really good opportunity to kind of, like I said, throw my 2 cents out there and just kind of be able to get a chance to see other people's reactions and hear what they had to say. So, Tom, I appreciate it, man. It was really cool of you to pose this out there and just get all this activity going. But that's been 10 minutes, so that's all I got on this. Again, Tom, thanks a lot. If you haven't subscribed to him, please do so. I'll make sure to put his link below. And y'all take care. We'll talk to y'all soon. Later.